Now let's do this problem. As you can see, there's parentheses. So always remember PEMDAS when you're dealing with more than one operation. Always have to think of order of operations. Parentheses first, which means look inside the parentheses first and see how you can simplify that expression. So we have 3 and 6. These two numbers are small enough that we can list the multiples. 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6, and now we found our common multiple. 6 ones are 6, so 6 is our least common multiple. So 3 in the denominator. To make it a 6, I multiply with 2. The 2/3 has now become 2 times 2 over 3 times 2. It's an equivalent form. The value has not changed. It's just that we've changed the denominator. So simplifying, you get 2 times 2 is 4. 4 over 6 is the same as 2 over 3, which is the original fraction, plus 1 over 6, the whole squared. We have like fractions now. That was the whole point of taking the LCM. And then we have to add the numerators and then square it. So we have 4 plus 1, 5 over 6, the whole squared, which is 5 over 6 times 5 over 6. The square tells us multiply 5 over 6 with it itself twice. So 5 over 6 times 5 over 6, which is 25 over 36. It's in the lowest term, so we don't need to do much with it. So let's look at the next one. Three-fifths. And remember, PEMDAS, we do division before subtraction. Always multiplication and division before addition or subtraction. So we have 3/5 times 7/6 minus 2 over, let's make it a 60. Let's make this a 60. 7 3s are 21. The 65 makes it very complicated, so let's just keep it as something simple, so we focus on learning how to find the LCM. 6 times 5 is 30 minus 2 over 60. There are two things we could do. Maybe take a common denominator. Let's do that first. So a common denominator, 30 and 60, as you can see, if you multiply 30, 31s are 30, 32s are 60, 61s are 60. Immediately we found our common denominator. So 30 times 2 is 60. We could do it that way. So in order to make the 30 as 60, we'd have to multiply the numerator and denominator by 2. Minus 2 over 60 is equal to 21 times 2 is 42 over 60 minus 2 over 60. We need a common denominator, and that's the reason why we found the LCM. So 42 minus 2 is a 40 over 60. The 10s cancel. 2 times 2 over 3 times 2. The 2's cancel and you get 2/3. So I'm not writing, but it is 2/3. I'll try to fix it once it starts working. So the next thing is, let's say we start here. 21 over 30 minus 2 over 60. Now, if you notice that there is a common factor of 2 in the numerator and denominator, it's 21 over 30 minus 2 times 1, 2 times 30. And in this case, we can avoid a lot of work. So it'll be 21 minus 1 over the common denominator of 30 which is 20 in the numerator and let me write somewhere else. 20 in the numerator divided by 30 in the denominator. And that's equal to 2/3. That's another way of doing the same problem. But remember that I changed it from 65 to 60 because 65 is just unnecessarily complicated. Now, what is the smallest possible length of screw needed to pass through two pieces of wood? One that is 7/8 inch thick and one that is 1/2 inch thick. Let's say this is 7/8 inch thick. And we're going to combine it with a 1/2 inch thick piece of wood, but we need to put the screw through these two pieces of wood. So what's the minimum length? So it would be 7/8 plus 1/2. That would be the total length of the screw, the minimum that we need if the screw has to go through these two pieces of wood. So the minimum thickness or the minimum length of the screw would have to be 7/8 plus 1/2, which is equal to, now it's unlike fractions. So we need to find, and this one is easy enough that you could list the multiples. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 ones are 8. We're listing the multiples. Or we could go 2 is 2 to the 1. 8 is 2 cubed. Pick the larger of the 2's, 2 cubed. So 8 is the common denominator. So we have 7/8 plus, we have a 1/2, but we need to make the 2 in the denominator equals to an 8. And the one way we could do it is by multiplying with 4. But if you multiply the denominator with 4, we have to multiply the numerator with 4 because 4/4 is a 1. We want to keep the value the same, right? So we have 7/8 plus, instead of 1/2, we are rewriting it or writing it in a different way without changing the value because 4/8 is the same as 1/2. So 7 plus 4 is 11/8. Let me put the intermediate step where we take a common denominator, but we add the numerators. So the thickness of the screw has to be 11/8. So let's do the work on this side. If we had to convert it, we would divide the 11 by 8. 8 times 1 is 8, remainder of 3. So this would be 1 3/8 inch. That's what it's equal to. A contractor hired 2 electricians to do a job. One did 3/5 of the job and the other did 3/8 of the job. So we're not talking about a quantity here, we're talking about the fraction of the job. Did the job get completed? Let's check. If one of them did 3/5, we add it to what the other person did, which is 3/8. Now we need to find the common denominator. 5 is 5 to the 1. 8 is 2 cubed. Pick the larger of the 2's, there's only 1, so that's 2 cubed. Pick the larger of the 5's, there's only 1. So it's 8 times 5. 2 cubed is 8 times 5, which is 40. So we simplify this. We are adding the two fractions of the job that got completed. We want to make the denominator of 40 because we want a common denominator. So 5 times 8 is 40. Notice 2 cubed times 5, so 8. Multiply the numerator with an 8 plus 8 5s are 40. And multiply the numerator with the 5 as well. 8 3s are 24, 5 times 3 is 15. Now when you add it, we add the, let's do the intermediate step, 24 plus 15 over 40, which is equal to 39 over 40. What does this tell us? What fraction of the job got done? If we divide the job into 40 equal parts, 39 parts out of 40 got done. Basically, there is a little still left over. So if 39 parts out of 40 parts got done, we are left with a small fraction of the job, which is 1 part out of 40 to be completed. So the job is not yet complete. If it were a 40 over 40, we would say it's done. But since it's 39 parts out of 40, we are left with 1. So the fraction of the job that is left is 1 over 40. That's the fraction that is left.